Hey, I'm your tiny urban soap maker here in South Texas, and I am back. Yes, I am. I have taken a little bit of a break to get my head back into sorts. We've been dealing with some family issues with somebody, um, and it's been very tiring, and it's taken a toll. So I've been soaping in silence and restocking things and just taking some time to refocus. I do have a custom order that I'm working on as well. And I figured, these came in. I've been wanting to do something fun for quite some time. Sometimes you come across a fragrance and you're like, okay, as a soap maker, I come across a fragrance and I'm like, oh, that sounds amazing. I can't wait to soap with that. What can I make with that fragrance? Because I love to do stuff that's fun, that it brings smiles to people. My soaps are just fun loving, carefree, reminiscent of things that you had in your childhood. And it just is something that makes great party favors. And that's a big part of what our soap business is a lot of people come to me for soap orders for party favors. And so I'm really trying to make sure I have enough molds on hand to be doing that. It has a cost as a soap maker to be buying all these little silicone molds and stuff. But I was able to get a good price on these. This was the I don't know if they have these in the stores anywhere, but these are the Tovolo like popsicle / ice cream pop things, and they're silicone. So the whole thing comes with like this, and there's 4 little silicone guys. Each one is like a little bit different. They're super cute. I know people are doing like popsicles and things like that. And I don't know how well popsicles would sell as far as soaps in our area. We're kind of a beach town, a fun, relaxed, laid back kind of thing. Here, people just love unique things. And so I just thought these little Tiki Mans would be perfect to go with this blueberry slushy fragrance oil from Crafter's Choice. These are actually a really nice size, party size soap to put in an organza bag. The whole thing is like a Tiki Man all the way around. Look at that. There's like Tiki Man, Tiki. So I'm super excited to be doing those. And it's a nice size. It's 2.5 ounces each, which is great to give as gifts. Anywhere from 2.5 to 3 ounces is usually what people like. That way they can order like a whole bunch of them and get a good price point for it. So we're going to be making the goat milk and buttermilk soap. And she wanted some mermaids, so we're going to be making her some mermaids. And I've got the 2 stamps down here that are I love you and like a little mermaid girl that says I love you with a heart. It's hard to see it. That. Let me see. Yeah. I would need something else to show. Let me see. Okay, maybe you can see her now. She says, I love you with a little heart. Anywho, so she's super cute. We'll be making some minis. And let's see, we've got the Sirens SOng by Nurture. It's like this really pretty greenish blue color, aqua kind of color. We're going to offset that with some electric blue by Nurture. That is super fun. And then we're going to mix it with some titanium dioxide and do like this swirl and just go for it. So that's what we're doing today. So the recipe is the organic coconut oil, rice bran oil, sustainable palm. We have beef tallow, shea butter, and castor oil. And we've got our raw honey as an additive, the kaolin clay, goat milk and buttermilk, organic cane sugar as well. So the sugar and the honey really help add to making this a luxuriously bubbly experience. And the notes that this has is blueberry, pear, pineapple, lemon zest with a hint of thyme. So we're going to throw some thyme in there too, I guess. But, oh my gosh, y'all, when you were a kid and you went to the roller skating rink, and I know you know who you are, you lived through the 80s and all that like me, you went to the skating rink and they put on music and you went to the slushie machine and you got yourself a blueberry slushie, blue slushie thing, and this smells exactly like that. This reminds me of being at the skating rink and skating around with your friends and having a good time. So I gotta add my fragrance oil to this. There's no vanilla, and I didn't see anybody having any issues with this. I haven't soaked with it yet, so we'll see how it goes. Always have a backup plan. So we're putting that in at 5.5%. I actually planned on making this soap today anyway, but somebody was doing a custom request, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll just throw in a couple mermaids, and I'll make another batch later on today. So that'll be super fun. And let's see, we've got this is our milk, our goat milk, buttermilk. We've got our kaolin clay. I already put the honey in. Let's see. So we'll see how many tiki I get out of this, plus the mermaids. We'll see how many that goes, because I'm making another batch later on. So we've got our glasses, our goggles on, safety. Put that over there. Put this back over here. Make a mess everywhere. Let's see what we got going on. So, it is super hot here in Texas. That's all I gotta say. There's a tropical storm coming, but it's headed more towards Louisiana, so it looks like we're still not going to get much rain. So I'm just going to blend this in. Everything's at room temperature. We just don't want any lumpy lumps. When you feel like you're all disorganized and your thoughts are all out of place, and you're trying to care for somebody, and you're giving your all to them, and it's exhausting, it's tiring, and I feel like I don't get things done like I need to, and then I feel behind, and then I feel stressed because I feel like I'm behind. And so I know soaping for a lot of people is very distressing, as far as like de-stressing, not distressing. It's like very soothing to just sit here and play with like colors and imagine stuff, and the actual formulating to make sure your recipe is the right size for all your molds and stuff like that really helps you get your mind focused on something constructive. There's that Sirens Song from Nurture. That is just gorgeous. I think these are going to be super fun. So here's my lye water with my organic cane sugar. I know you probably could put these in with like a popsicle stick, but I'm thinking they might look better in the organza gift bags, and just be really fun that way. So we're going to see how it goes, making them like this and how they look in the packaging, and then I'll make a decision from there whether I want to stick them on a popsicle stick or not. I thought if they were big enough, I could do like soap on a rope tiki men, but I think they're too small to be doing that. I think if they were like 4 ounces or something, that would be like more like a chunky size to hang up. So I know sometimes being a parent and tough love can be hard, and where do you draw the boundaries with people in your life who can be toxic to you? And I know this isn't like a video about all of that, and I might do one later on about it, but I've just kind of some chit chat and my thoughts on, you know, I know we all struggle as human beings with different things and what's going on in everyone's lives, but there's a point when you reach and people are just so draining that your health is being affected by it. So when you cut those people out of your lives and let them go and find their own way, and will they find their way? Will they stop doing what they're doing that's harmful to others? And you have all these worries for them and concerns for them. Titanium dioxide here. Anyway, if anybody's struggling with different things, hit me up in the comments. Kind of let me know. I guess you've been there. You've been through some hard times. You made it through, or someone's helped you through some hard times. And I'm definitely going to do a video later, separate, addressing some things that I want to talk about that I think are not talked about enough and shared on YouTube to help other families going through what we've gone through. But today is going to be about making some fun soap. I don't think that was enough weight. We're going to make Tiki Man Tiki today. I'm excited for Tiki Man. We went to Bobby's Rollaway back in the day. If you were like from, I think Bobby's Rollaway was in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, or just south of Massachusetts. I don't even know if it was in Massachusetts. It might have actually been in Rhode Island. It was called Bobby's Rollaway Skate Rink, and we used to go at least once a month with our school. And I went to a Catholic school, and so we just had a great time. And my husband and I talk about going roller skating every so often, and we talk about it, and he used to go roller skating all the time too, and I'm like, if we're feeling good one day, we just need to go roller skating and just kind of like relive our youth a little bit and just have, some fun time with us, just listen to music and roller skate for an hour or something, just go get, an ice cream or something, or, stuff like that. So that looks pretty good there. So far, I had a water discount for 34%, and I'm definitely thinking that I probably ended up going back up to 35%, because I wasn't sure how this fragrance was going to react. That is pretty. So we're just going to do kind of an in the pot swirl with this and let it do its thing when it comes out and see how it goes. So far, so good. It's a good fragrance, y'all. It smells good. It's not ricing or accelerating in any way. I don't think I saw any bad reviews about it behaving badly. I have worked with some bad fragrances lately, and I force them things in the mold and slap them down. So, get this electric blue. This is super pretty. This is so pretty. I wish y'all could just get a close up. I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer. Super pretty. Electric blue is like a really good contrast for all the other lighter aquas and blues that I have in my collection of micas and things like that. So that was, I think, a new color from Nurture, and I got it, and I was like, this is awesome. Because sometimes I've done the colors, and they just look too close to each other, and they don't give you that contrast. Whereas I feel like that electric blue just really pops. All right, so bring y'all in. There's my close-up. Hope you can see it all. So let's see. Tiki Mon Tiki. Let it go in and do its thing. I'm hoping if I pour it quickly, it'll look pretty. Just kind of see how it goes. I'm going to try one where I pour it slower and see how that goes too. So we'll pour it in here. Against the side. And it looks like I'm getting a better color contrast. I think I'm going to do that one more time with the other set that I have. Those ones off. I'm going to make sure I freeze these really well, because when I push them out, I want the Tiki Man to show really good and not get smashed up in any way. So I know this is not a normal mold that people usually work with. I've never seen anyone soap with this yet, so I'm going to try. I did that one on the side. I poured into the center with this one. I did the side, and I'm going to do the front side and pour it in and see how it goes. That way I'll have 3 different ways that I poured it, and then see which way I like, how it came out best. Now, the person I got this from on eBay only had 3 sets of these, so I probably would have bought 4 had they had 4, but they did give me a really good price with free shipping, so I figured I'll just get the 3. We'll see how it goes. If I need more later, I'll get more later. But these just seem really fun. For my mermaid girls, I usually try to swirl it a little bit. Shake it from side to side and make like a wave, like an ocean swirly wave, and it makes a really cool pattern. Now, I haven't found my Dremel yet because I wanted to drill out the arm on this a little bit more on the mold, because it's like, seems like I always have trouble with this mold getting the mermaid out without the arm or the hand snapping. So I don't like working with these molds. And I was going to address trying to Dremel and drill this out a little bit more, but I have not had time to find the Dremel. I've been looking and I look and then I give up and I'm like, I don't know where it's at. My husband doesn't know either, so we'll find it later. But I think that might solve my problem. Because I like the molds. Everybody loves these molds, but I I ended up having to use soap dough to fix her hand and sculpt it with some tools. And it takes a little bit more time, and it really is kind of frustrating when I don't have a lot of time to do some things and I need to get more things done. So wherever we can be efficient in our time, it really helps us out. So maybe when it starts to cool off a little bit here, we can go through the garage and organize it a little bit better and find the Dremel and fix this up, and we'll see how it goes from there. Because I was not going to order any more of these because they are such a pain to work with. And I offered her a different mold, and of course everybody always chooses this one. That's just the way of it. They love the Little Mermaid. I don't blame them. All right, so we got our mermaids in there. I'll have to make more later. I got my tikis, and I was gonna make some minis. Just don't want too much white on that side. Just roll that a little bit. Now, I know this fragrance went on sale for July 4th on Wholesale Supplies Plus, and so I got one bottle of it, and I just love it so much. I ordered a second one because I think this is going to be a big seller. I think it's a really great scent. I think people are going to love it. A lot of the reasons why people shop at our shop is because our stuff is kind of unique, and the scents are reminiscent of things that people really enjoy. So if anybody is looking for a Tiki Man soap, I will have them in our mystery boxes. So head on over to Becca's by the Bay, check out our mystery boxes. And if you're wanting a Tiki Man, message me in the notes and say, add me a Tiki Man. And if you've seen the video and you want to add it to your mystery box and these are ready in about a month, I'll add it to your mystery box. Also, it's been a great soap. This has been a great soap and fragrance. Everything stayed really fluid. So if you're looking to do a soap that has lots of really pretty swirls and things like that in it, I think this is an awesome fragrance to work with. Of course, it all depends on your recipe. This was a pretty basic recipe and nothing too crazy, so just have to save a Tiki for us. These are awesome. And I'm going to be rebatching some more soaps later today because I've got some. My margarita didn't come out right for whatever reason last time. I think I didn't fully emulsify the whole recipe, and so when I got down to the end of it, it didn't set up right. So I'm gonna have to rebatch it, which is a bummer. But another soap maker, I think it's handcrafted Shellbrook. I think it's Shellbrook, and she microwaved her soaps with some water to get them to melt faster. And I tried that, and it really helped. It really helped a lot. Instead of just waiting, even though you shred it and put it in your crock pot, it takes forever to melt the soaps down before you can like rebatch them. Like, a couple hours or more. You end up being like 4 hours later, and you're like, is it still melted, or can I work with it? So I ended up microwaving stuff, and we ended up being able to rebatch some soaps a whole lot faster than what we normally do. Let's see. know I made my batch originally just to do the tikis and the minis, but I had enough to do the mermaids. And then my next batch, I'll just make some more minis too. So this was actually a 36-ounce recipe. These make 24 little mini hearts, and so I usually figure an ounce each. And then these are 2.5 ounces, so that was 30 ounces. So I needed it to be, when you look at your soap weight, this recipe came out to be 54 ounces. And that would have probably fit this and all this, and then maybe a few extra mermaid tail soaps or something like that. Okay, so I didn't quite get a full heart on that one. I'll just fill it up later. We're swirling. All right, so that is that. I will let you guys all know tomorrow how Tiki Man Tiki comes out when I try to unmold it. I'm probably going to leave them in the freezer for about 4 or 5 hours. Normally I let them set up overnight for 24 hours, and then I put them in our deep freezer for about 3 hours before I stamp anything. But I think I want these to be really good and solid so that when I push them out, I don't damage the tiki. So I want to make sure they're good and frozen and nothing gets squashed. So I'm thinking 5 to 6 hours is where I need to have them in the freezer for. And then I'll show you guys tomorrow what they look like. So thanks for hanging out with me with the little Tiki Man Tikis Tobolos. And we'll see you guys next time in the next video. Head on over to the Etsy shop at Becca's by the Bay and see what's in stock and what we've got going on there. We've got some fabulous things in stock. I have been restocking things like crazy because things have been selling like crazy. So keeping things in stock has been really important around here. And I haven't had time to do new fragrances. And this was a new one, and I wanted to do it. And it was so much fun. What it looks like tomorrow. Bye.